Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be looking at another version of Sokudo on BugForge. This one is a broken authentication vulnerability. And just before I get into the lab, I just want to give a heads up to everybody watching. I'm going to be changing up the way that I do these videos. Instead of going through and discussing the specific vulnerability in each video, my plan is to build out a series of videos that go a little bit deeper into each vulnerability class, um, and really kind of give an explanation of that class, and walk through some concrete examples of BugForge labs that relate to that class. And then as new daily labs come out, um, I'm just going to reference that larger video that explains what the vulnerability is. Um, I think that'll make it a lot easier for viewers to watch, and it'll make it a lot easier for me to make. So just bear with me. I'm figuring out what works and what doesn't, and what the best way to do this is, and there might be a little bit of growing pains or some friction points as I figure that out. So I appreciate everyone watching, and just wanted to give you a heads up on that, since there's not going to be a real in-depth explanation on what broken authentication is. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the authentication mechanism in the application is broken in some way. And we'll see that as we get into the lab. So let's jump over here. I have got I've got this pulled up here, and normally I'm logged in already, but I want to show this because there's something interesting in the response to our registration. So let me just go ahead and register an account here. Password and register. Okay. So now I want to come over to Kaido and look at this registration requests, right? So here we're sending our data, and I, the thing I want to point out is this part right here. What we're getting back, this token. This isn't a JWT, obviously, but what it does look like is a timestamp, right? So it looks like probably a UTC timestamp, 2026 0107 150909, which, so for me right now it's 9:09 a.m. So yeah, I would say this is probably a UTC timestamp. So that's interesting. um, this is a predictable value, right? So if we can find somewhere in the application that is leaking when other users logged in to the app, we may be able to abuse that in some way and take over their session, or log in, essentially log in as that user. So let's go back to the app and take a look around. So we've seen this app before. This is a test, typing test. Kill us makes us stronger. That which, okay. All right. I'm not a super fast typer, so cool. Again, we can view stats. We can go back to the dashboard. If we view our statistics, right? So this is our session. This is the leaderboard. Um, and what I want to do is come over here and notice that when we look at at the leaderboard in our proxy, it has this last login uh, value here, right? So if you recall, that's exactly what our token is made up from, right? So if I've got the timestamps for when everyone logged into the application, I can derive a token from that. So let's try to do that now. So what I want is the admin, and it looks like the admin's token would be 2026 0107 1504. Does it go? Okay, it does go to the seconds. So 150459. So let's try to plug that in here. It helps if I send it to replay first. Let me try plugging that in here. What was it? 150459. And just see if we get the response back. And we do. So what we can probably do then is we can probably take that value, come back over here to the app, and go into our local storage because that's where our token is stored, and swap out our token for the admin token, then refresh the page. And you can see that we now have this admin panel up here. And if we access that, then you can see we get the flag. So um, the big takeaway here is just to make sure that you're um, carefully reviewing the responses to all the requests you're sending. In this case, there was valuable information in the response to both our registration request. So we saw that the bearer token was not a JWT, but it was made up of a UT. It was essentially just a UTC timestamp. And then we also saw that in the response to the leaderboard um, request, it was leaking the login times for all the other users, and we were able to leverage that to take over an administrative session and get the flag. So that was a really fun one. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.